yeah, you're never alone. From the trucking world to the news of the day, join the combo, come on, let's play. Trucking industry, we're keeping it fresh, latest up. Yeah, welcome to the show, let's get it on. Correct me if I'm wrong, coming in strong. Yeah. We're diving deep, got a lot to discuss. Religion to sports, come join the fuss. Current events, we keep it real. Breaking news, that's how we feel. Open minds, we gather around. Voices in the air, hear that sound. From the streets to the airwaves, we unite. Bringing all the topics to the spotlight. You're right if I'm wrong, we're setting the tone. Podcast vibes, yeah, you're never alone. From the trucking world to the news of the day, join the combo, come on, let's play. Trucking industry, we're keeping it fresh, latest up. Yeah, welcome to the show, let's get it on. Correct me if I'm wrong, coming in strong. Yeah. We're diving deep, got a lot to discuss. Religion to sports, come join the fuss. Current events, we keep it real. Breaking news, that's how we feel. Open minds, we gather around. Voices in the air, hear that sound. From the streets to the airwaves, we unite. Bringing all the topics to the spotlight. You're right if I'm wrong, we're setting the tone. Podcast vibes, yeah, you're never alone. From the trucking world to the news of the day, join the combo, come on, let's play. Trucking industry, we're keeping it fresh, latest up. Yeah, welcome to the show, let's get it on. Correct me if I'm wrong, coming in strong. Yeah. We're diving deep, got a lot to discuss. Religion to sports, come join the fuss. Current events, we keep it real. Breaking news, that's how we feel. Open minds, we gather around. Voices in the air, hear that sound. From the streets to the airwaves, we unite. Bringing all the topics to the spotlight. You're right if I'm wrong, we're setting the tone. Podcast vibes, yeah, you're never alone. From the trucking world to the news of the day, join the combo, come on, let's play. Trucking industry, we're keeping it fresh, latest up. Yeah, welcome to the show, let's get it on. Correct me if I'm wrong, coming in strong. Yeah. We're diving deep, got a lot to discuss. Religion to sports, come join the fuss. Current events, we keep it real. Breaking news, that's how we feel. Open minds, we gather around. Voices in the air, hear that sound. From the streets to the airwaves, we unite. Bringing all the topics to the spotlight. You're right if I'm wrong, we're setting the tone. Podcast vibes, yeah, you're never alone. From the trucking world to the news of the day, join the combo, come on, let's play. Trucking industry, we're keeping it fresh, latest up. Yeah, welcome to the show, let's get it on. Correct me if I'm wrong, coming in strong. Yeah. We're diving deep, got a lot to discuss. Religion to sports, come join the fuss. Current events, we keep it real. Breaking news, that's how we feel. Open minds, we gather around. Voices in the air, hear that sound. From the streets to the airwaves, we unite. Bringing all the topics to the spotlight. You're right if I'm wrong, we're setting the tone. Podcast vibes, yeah, never alone. From the trucking world to the news of the day, join the combo, come on, let's play. Trucking industry, we're keeping it fresh, latest up. Yeah, yeah, welcome to the show, let's get it on. Correct me if I'm wrong, coming in strong. Yeah. We're diving deep, got a lot to discuss. Religion to sports, come join the fuss. Current events, we keep it real. Breaking news, that's how we feel. Open minds, we gather around. Voices in the air, hear that sound. From the streets to the airwaves, we unite. Bringing all the topics to the spotlight. You're right if I'm wrong, we're setting the tone. Podcast vibes, yeah, you're never alone. From the trucking world to the news of the day, join the combo, come on, let's play. Trucking industry, we're keeping it fresh, latest up. Yeah, yeah, welcome to the show, let's get it on. Correct me if I'm wrong, coming in strong. Yeah. We're diving deep, got a lot to discuss. Religion to sports, come join the fuss. Current events, we keep it real. Breaking news, that's how we feel. Open minds, we gather around. Voices in the air, hear that sound. From the streets to the airwaves, we unite. Bringing all the topics to the spotlight. You're right if I'm wrong, we're setting the tone. Podcast vibes, yeah, you're never alone. From the trucking world to the news of the day, join the combo, come on, let's play. Trucking industry, we're keeping it fresh, latest up. Yeah, yeah, welcome to the show, let's get it on. Correct me if I'm wrong, coming in strong. Yeah. We're diving deep, got a lot to discuss. Religion to sports, come join the fuss. Current events, we keep it real. Breaking news, that's how we feel. Open minds, we gather around. Voices in the air, hear that sound. From the streets to the airwaves, we unite. Bringing all the topics to the spotlight. You're right if I'm wrong, we're setting the tone. Podcast vibes, yeah, you're never alone. From the trucking world to the news of the day, join the combo, come on, let's play. Trucking industry, we're keeping it fresh, latest up. Yeah, yeah, welcome to the show, let's get it on. Correct me if I'm wrong, coming in strong. Yeah. We're diving deep, got a lot to discuss. Religion to sports, come join the fuss. Current events, we keep it real. Breaking news, that's how we feel. Open minds, we gather around. Voices in the air, hear that sound. From the streets to the airwaves, we unite. Bringing all the topics to the spotlight. You're right if I'm wrong, we're setting the tone. Podcast vibes, yeah, you're never alone. From the trucking world to the news of the day, join the combo, come on, let's play. Trucking industry, we're keeping it fresh, latest up. Yeah, yeah, welcome to the show, let's get it on. Correct me if I'm wrong, coming in strong. Yeah. We're diving deep, got a lot to discuss. Religion to sports, come join the fuss. Current events, we keep it real. Breaking news, that's how we feel. Open minds, we gather around. Voices in the air, hear that sound. From the streets to the airwaves, we unite. Bringing all the topics to the spotlight. You're right if I'm wrong, we're setting the tone. Podcast vibes, yeah, you're never alone. From the trucking world to the news of the day, join the combo. Come on, let's play. Trucking industry, we're keeping it fresh. Latest up. Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Hope everyone's having a good, prosperous day today. We got a lot of information we want to share today. It's a lot of things that have happened this week um, as everyone's preparing for the Memorial Day weekend. We want to be well informed and also, going forward, and we also want to kind of see what happened this week, where we are as far as trends and everything like that is concerned, so we can, you know, it's always good to prepare ahead for next week. Uh, First of all, I'd like to say I'm blessed to be here. It's the grace of our good Lord and Savior. I'm able to come before you today and kind of share some of the topics that I thought were important to the trucking community and to us as truckers. First of all, I'd like to thank our sponsor, Q Elic, with Elic Entertainment. We have so many companies, sometimes they all run together. We have Elic Logistics, we have a BPO center, we have food and restaurant ventures and things like that. So whether you're in the Philippines, whether you're in the United States, make sure you try to check out anything that you see that has a Elic logo, that lion logo. You know it comes with ultimate service, putting the customer first. Hospitality is our number one thing, no matter what it is, no matter if it's, and we have several contracts with all kind of big name vendors that you guys know and trust, such as your AT&Ts, financial institutions. All of them know that when they see that lion logo, that they are going to get nothing but the best in service, the best in hospitality, and that's where it starts from. Anyway, so let's jump dead into it. There was an article that I saw in CDL Life, and it was talking about an accident that happened um, involving a motor coach and several parked tractor trailers. If you guys can remember that incident, it happened on July the 12th, 2023. So the NTSB just released their report on it and their findings on it as far as what happened as a result of the crash. Now, we always know, no matter what happens, whether they're in the right, whether they're in the wrong, the lawyers, the community as a whole are always going to blame the truck driver. That's just the way it is, whether they're at fault or at not. We are taught as truck drivers to automatically assume and automatically think and automatically prepare ourselves for the fact that we are going to be held liable if anything was to happen. That's how we're trained. That's how the industry prepares us. That's how our costs are, such as insurance and things like that. So everything we do, even our insurance rates, are fixed as to if we've already had an accident and we've never filed a claim. You'd be shocked. For instance, if you are looking to get your own authority, you have a very clean MVR, but you could have it doesn't matter your age. You could be 54, you could be in your 40s. When you go to apply for insurance, I guarantee you that's one of the number one factors that keep most drivers from being able to venture off into their own business and to get their own MC number. That insurance may cost you anywhere from $9,000 to $10,000 down on the premium, and then your monthly costs could be anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 a month. Uh, and you're able to pay that monthly or quarterly. And if you think those are exaggerated rates, you can try any carrier out there. If you're a brand new business and your MC number is brand new and you go out there and you try to get general liability insurance, your premium cost, no matter what your driving record is going to be anywhere from 9,000 to 7,000 to 9,000 down, 2,000 to 3,000 monthly, because the industry is already preparing itself as if something is going to happen, not if, but when something is going to happen. So that's the scrutiny that all truck drivers face. So anyway, this accident, I remember this accident like it was yesterday. It happened in on July the 12th of 2023. And the NTSB report just got released. So, and what they said that there was a critical lack of safe truck parking uh, was the contributing factor to the crash. So this is what CDO Life had to say about the incident. They said that a lack of safe truck parking was one of the conditions cited by the National Transportation Safety Board in a report on a 2023 crash involving a motor coach and several parked tractor trailers. The NTSB said driver fatigue, inadequate company oversight, and a critical lack of safe truck parking along the national highway system led to a fatal early morning collision on Interstate 70 in Highland, Illinois. Uh, that's what the NTSB determined. So, uh, if you don't remember what happened, it was involving a Prevost motor coach, which is operated by Greyhound, was traveling westbound and it departed I-70 for the Silver Lake Rest Area exit ramp, and it collided with three tractor trailers that were parked on the right hand side of the shoulder. You know, sometimes as you're going down the road, you'll see the semi trucks, we call them tractor trailers, parked on the side of the road or right there at the exit ramp. They're either parked as you're going up the ramp or as you're coming down on the other side where you're actually exiting onto the highway. You will see the trucks parked on the side there as well. That's because every now and then it's because a truck driver is lazy. That's usually not the case. Usually either he's out of hours and he cannot drive any further, so he has to get to the nearest place and shut down. That's regulated by the DOT, or there's just nowhere to park. And you can say, well, how do you know? Because he didn't even check. We have apps and things on our phone that tell us if different parking locations that's allocated for truck parking are full. So I'll know hours in advance. Like if I'm on my way, say for instance, I'm traveling down I-20, I am on my way to, let's say, Jackson, Mississippi. I'll know an hour, 2 hours if there's any parking in that area, because I'll just get on an app that I have and I'll look and see, and it will tell me actually if there's some parking, if there's a lot of parking, if there's no parking at the different truck stops and even the rest areas. And that's because that's how truckers communicate with each other and let us know and let each other know what's going on out there as far as parking is concerned, because that's a big, huge issue in trucking. And to me, while they're picking on people about whether or not they can speak English properly, which in my opinion is a total distraction as far as what's really going on and what's really about to hit the fate of truck drivers, they're focusing on things such as that instead of focusing on adequate parking and things like that. Not to say that that's not being addressed totally, because there are bills that are being introduced that include budget for more truck parking and things like that. But other things are taking a priority. Other things are taking an emphasis, such as whether or not someone can speak adequate English. And that's about to be a big thing. And we'll get on into that later on in different episodes. But that's about to be a huge thing. It's about to be a thing so much that if you can't speak adequate English, I'm not just talking about read adequate English. If you cannot speak adequate English, they will take your CDL. And that blitz, it's a law that's been on the books for a long time. But the Obama area and different presidents kind of walked back enforcement of that, and now the Trump administration is putting that front and center. As far as if you don't speak English, your CDO's gone. Uh, so anyway, that's a different subject for a different day. Getting back to this, um, this was a huge situation because as a result of the crash, three motor coach passengers were killed, uh, and the driver and 11 passengers sustained injuries. So this was a big ordeal. Uh, it actually involved three different tractor trailers that were parked on the side of the road. I believe all three were parked on the side of the road. I think, and this bus. They said it was tragic. It was preventable. Um, and it said that their investigation brought to light a critical shortage of safe truck parking, and it made a clear, painful lesson. Until we address this important safety issue, lives are at risk on our nation's road, and that's very true. What a lot of people don't know is we're given a certain amount of hours that we can drive a day. So if we're given 11 hours that we can drive in a given day, that means we got to be on the move, and that includes if there's any issues on the road, if there's any issues with our vehicle and things like that. That's still all we get is 11 hours worth of driving time, and sometimes, no matter how hard we try, there's no parking, and that what a lot of people say. I hear a lot of truck drivers say, "Oh, you need to plan better." And I'm trying to say, when I hear comments like that, I'll be saying to myself, damn, how long has this person actually been driving? And then I come to find out it's seasoned drivers that have been driving a long time. And what their thoughts are is you ought to stop your truck earlier. You ought to pre-plan for those things. Well, sometimes that's not possible. Sometimes you can't start at 4 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes you can't start at 8 o'clock in the morning. And if you typically don't finish by 3 p.m., you're screwed. Some of these and you truckers know what I'm talking about. Some of these spaces start filling up. If you go to Atlanta and the different areas like that, those spaces start filling up by 1:30, 2 o'clock. You can't find a space. You know that. And it's like that in several cities, several major hubs that we have. When you go to places like Chicago, there is no such thing as truck parking. So to hear other drivers say that, it just to me it's ignorant, and it adds to our lack of credibility when we open up our mouths as drivers as a whole, when we don't take time to logically explain to the public what's going on. So the NTSB suggested grants be made available to state and local governments to create and maintain truck parking. So it's sad when major accidents like this have to happen in order for agencies to step in and make recommendations and do what they want to do. It's like the driver has to lose his ass first. Uh, Before things. And now these are drivers, mind you, maybe they shouldn't have been parked on the side of the road, but they were minding their own damn business. They weren't doing anything. 9 times out of 10, they were asleep. They were out of hours, I'm assuming. And that was the nearest rest area or rest location that they could get to. Now, we're always supposed to get to what's called a safe haven. That's the terminology that's used in logistics. You're supposed to get to a safe haven and shut down. But that ain't life. It don't all the time work like that. And if you do find parking spaces, people want to charge you an arm and a leg. You guys have no idea how us as drivers we get taken advantage of on the roads. To park overnight, you'll have to pay 25, $30. Okay. So let's consider this. If you and they've actually a lot of them have went up. The average is probably around $28 a night. So say for instance a driver has to pay $28 a night just to park. Most drivers have to run their trucks overnight just to stay cool or just to stay warm because of the weather. Okay, that's an additional $35 a night that you're spending in fuel. So think about the costs that a driver has to incur uh, when he's just trying to rest. All right. And like I say, people see us coming because they know they always say drivers have money, they can't afford to do this, they can't afford to do that. To me, it's straight up rape uh, when they see us coming because they try to get everything out of us. They try to get everything out of our pockets. Okay, but that's what the NT. That's what their findings was. I thought that was an interesting story. It was a story that took center stage. Um, So another story I thought was interesting that's on CDL Life as well. How Michigan is trying to keep semi trucks from driving in the left lane. So let's see what that's about. That is a big issue. I ain't gonna lie, because you have some trucks, these slow ass Swift trucks that are regulated at, I don't even know what a Swift truck is regulated at anymore. Back in the days, they used to be regulated at 65. I heard they got bumped up to 68. So now they're probably regulated in the 70s, which is still too slow sometimes to have your ass in that hammer lane. And the issue is that you'll find, I'll give you an example. I see it all the time, man. You'll find the Avert truck that's regulated at a certain speed trying to pass another Averitt truck that's regulated at the same speed, and they both holding up traffic. Nobody can go nowhere. So Michigan, I guess they're fed up with it. So they're introducing legislation to try to ban semi trucks from the left lane. Okay, so on May 22nd, House Bill number 4522 was introduced by State Representative William Bruck. I guess that's how you pronounce his name, Bruck. And it says the bill seeks to prohibit trucks from using the left lane on any roadway with three or more lanes. Okay. And it says if construction closes one or more lanes on the three, if construction closes one or more lanes of the three roadway, resulting in only two usable lanes, the bill would require that trucks remain in the right lane. Now that's where the language gets sticky, and that's where it's going to mess somebody up. And I guarantee you, you're going to have predatory uh, law enforcement that use this as an excuse to misuse or abuse this bill or this law if it becomes into effect. Now I'm not against this law because if there's three functioning lanes, why you need to be over there? Why in the far left lane anyway? So I'm good with that. What I'm not good with, if there's construction and we're down to two lanes, you're saying that all trucks have to be in the right lane. And I'm gonna tell you something about that right lane. This is a lot of times why we get out the right lane. It's not necessarily because of speed. It's not necessarily that we're trying to pass everybody on the road. The right lanes are usually jacked up. They got potholes in it big enough for the truck to strictly fall into. So that's why a lot of times I know me as a driver, I try to stay out of that right lane because that right lane is used by every truck on the highway. And we know that the different departments of transportation, whoever is in charge of maintaining the roads in these particular states, they don't do their job. California is the worst in the world, and they always posting pictures. They're always posting something of they've caught a driver doing this or they've caught a semi truck doing this and try to show us as being idiotic and breaking the rules and that they're always enforce the rules. But you cannot find any evidence of where they're fixing none of these messed up ass highways in California. That's why I have no respect for the California transportation system. However they're set up, whatever their focus is, it's always there's always an issue going on in California. I refuse to drive there because you will literally tear your front end up driving in California. Y'all drivers know what I'm talking about, man. Y'all know I'm not exaggerating. You'll get a blowout. Your vehicle will get misaligned. I'm talking about semi trucks. That's how horrible the roads and the highways are in California. Okay, so when you have issues going on like that, and now you're trying to introduce legislation that's going to keep a truck in times of construction, you know, restricted to the right lane, that's kind of That's kind of not right. So that's just my opinion, though. But anyway, I can't remember if Michigan their legislation is primarily Republican, primarily Democrat, because that makes a huge difference in these different packages and the legislation that's passed, uh, especially regarding if it involves a semi truck. It really makes a difference uh, whether or not the majority is Republican or Democrat. Okay, but I thought that was an interesting story. Um, now let's see what else. I found something else interesting, man. It was on Trucker News .com, not Trucker News. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was on Trucker News. Um, the two sites I look on a lot of times, guys, for the latest news. I like a YouTuber. I can't think of his name, but he brings some interesting things to light almost before anyone else does, and that's mothertrucker.com. Now, if I want to laugh, I'll go to Bonehead Truckers, Bonehead Drivers, whatever it is. But if I'm trying to get some serious news, I go to CDO Life, and I also go to truckernews.com. So if you want to know what's going on, they don't update their sites every day, but if you check like on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, things like that, I'd say every 2 or 3 days they're updating their sites with the latest stories and things like that that's going on. But if I ever need, run across anything, um, I'll always throw it your way. And guys, we're doing something exciting, something wonderful. Um, we have on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel and things like that, and it's sponsored by Elic Logistics. We have what's called a live load boards to help out drivers, all of you drivers that are getting stuck, that are not getting the rates that you want, that are having to pay to have all these different load boards, that have dispatchers that get you stuck. You get on these crappy loads that have all this detention time, and we know it takes anywhere from 30 to 60, sometimes 90 days to get the detention pay. So Elic Logistics has tried to come up with a way to help drivers actually take the power back into their own hands as far as their dispatching is concerned. We have a live load board, and we do this Monday through Friday. Eventually, we're going to go to 24 hours and on the weekends. But Monday through Friday, you can go to our Facebook page, The Perfect Dispatcher, um, or you can go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com at perfect perfect dispatcher, and you will get live loads. You can see live loads coming through the screen all shift long from 9 to 6. And if there's something on there that you like, hey, make it known. Just drop us a DM, drop us a comment, call us. The number's listed. Or you can email us at the information listed on the Facebook Live post. And if there's something there that you like, but you don't see exactly the load that's perfect for you, hey, drop us a comment. Ask us, say, hey, do you have anything? I'm in Fort Mill, South Carolina. I'm trying to get to Dallas, Texas. I want to pick up uh, on the 29th. Would like something that can deliver maybe 2 days later, and I want to re-up in the same area. Drop us that comment, and we'll try to search for something for you. We'll try to touch base with you or give us a call. We'll look in depth. We'll tell you everything that we see. We operate off a variety of load boards, not just one or two. Everybody's on DAT, everybody's on truck stop. So we try to use other load boards, and we have relationships with brokers. So we'll call them, we'll hammer down, we'll try to find you the loads you want at the rate you like. Okay. So that's something new that Elic Logistics has going on. Never be stuck again, drivers. All you have to do is go to our Facebook page, which is at the Perfect Dispatcher. Okay. And you will find live loads that you can look at Monday through Friday. Um, I thought this was an interesting article. It came out today, as a matter of fact. It was talking about a trucker that was busted on I-40 in Arkansas for possession of cocaine and fentanyl. Okay. And that's becoming a real issue, man. I don't know why people get a CDL just to lose a CDL. I don't understand that. And I don't understand. how they're thinking that law enforcement is not onto things, that they're not just advanced as we are. I know, I give you an example. I know all you guys can relate to this, that drive that I-20 corridor from Atlanta. You're coming out of Atlanta and you're getting into Alabama, and you know that way station that's there on the right, that one that's usually open. We all know that the way stations now are being prepped with x-ray machinery, uh, things like that, where they know if something's in your wheel, they know if something's an anomaly is in the cargo that you're transporting inside the trailer walls. You can't hide nothing anymore from law enforcement. You just can't. So why take the chance? Um, anyway, California's always got to be special. So a California trucker was recently arrested on drug possession when police found cocaine and fentanyl in his tractor trailer earlier this week. According to a statement from the Arkansas State Police on Monday, May 19th at approximately 1:45 p.m., a trooper conducted a truck stop on a tractor trailer at the 75-mile marker of eastbound Interstate 40. Now, I'm going to stop right there and I'm going to let the public know something that we as truck drivers, uh, we should be aware of, but hell, maybe some of y'all are not aware of it. Law enforcement don't have a reason to stop you. They don't. They don't have to give you a reason. They don't have to have one. They don't. They're not racially profiling you. They stop you because they want to stop you. That's all they. That's all the reason they need. When you get that commercial driver's license, they could stop you at any point, anytime, for anything, as long as you're in that commercial vehicle. So uh, now I'm not 100% sure, but I think that the only restriction on that is on private property. And then I've seen them give DOT inspections and tickets at truck stops, you know. And I'm wondering how the hell that happened, but I've seen that as well. So they do not have to have probable cause or any type of reason to come behind you and stop you when you're driving that commercial motor vehicle on a public roadway, okay? So this truck driver from California got stopped in the eastbound lane on I-40. Okay, so 4 boxes was discovered in the cab of the truck. They contain 15 kilos of fentanyl and 35 kilos of cocaine. Now, I am not uh, in the drug profession, so I have no idea what that means. I have no clue if that means they caught him with a lot, they caught him with a little bit. I don't know. I assume if they're posting this, and I assume from the picture I see that that's a lot. Is that a lot, brother? Is 15 kilos of fentanyl and 35 kilos of cocaine, is that a lot?
Yeah, considering the fact that it's a federal offense, as soon as you hit 1 kilo, you do the same amount of time for 1 kilo that you would do for 15.
So, okay, I got you. I got it. Anyway, this dummy, he didn't have it in the trailer part. He had it in the cab with him. Now, if you're gonna be a crook, don't be a stupid one. They may let something pass that's in the trailer because a lot of times the trailers are sealed. They don't want to go in the back of the truck, unseal it, and go through the different cargo. Sometimes they're lazy. They don't want to do that. But the first thing a police officer is going to do if he stops you, 9 times out of 10, he's going to step up there on your foot rail and look directly into your cab. He's looking all in your cab. You know they nosy as hell. They want to find something. So why would you have something like this in the cab of your truck? This dude thought it was cool. So the driver, Claude, y'all remember the movie Life, of California, was charged with 21 counts of possession with intent to distribute cocaine and 21 counts of possession with intent to distribute fentanyl. So is if he gets convicted of this, is he getting out anytime soon? This dude, he got, they said they charged him with 21 counts of possession. Well, wait a minute. 21 counts of possession with intent to distribute of cocaine and 21 counts of possession with intent to distribute a fentanyl. How many years do you think he could get behind that?
I'm not sure what the fentanyl is. The coke is probably about 10 years.
Okay.
Minus good behavior.
But that's Fed time, right? That won't be state time, right? Or will it?
Can't really determine where they're gonna place you.
Okay.
I mean, they could hold you in state for a while until they move you to a federal, but I mean, he's a non-violent offender. So,
I thought once it hits a certain amount, though, it's automatically Fed. It don't work like that.
yeah, it does, but it doesn't mean that the system's gonna open up to you so you can get into Fed. You could be held in state for a while.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Anyway, wait a minute. Let's see. It says here, damn, that's why reading is essential. It says he is in U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration custody. So the DEA, I guess, he was stopped by a state trooper. It says a trooper stopped him. But as of right now, it says he's in DEA custody.
Mm-hmm.
And it says he will face charges in the Eastern District Federal Court in Little Rock. So, yeah. And it says he was coming from Los Angeles and he was headed to Memphis. Lord have mercy.
So he's gonna go to trial in Memphis.
No, it says he was arraigned in Little Rock. He was coming from Los Angeles. He got stopped in Arkansas.
Oh, so wherever he got stopped is where he's gonna get.
Exactly. So they said he'll face charges in Little Rock. So it said removing over 36 pounds of fentanyl from our communities will save an untold number of lives. Yeah, right. The seizure amounts to around 150,000 lethal doses. Damn. This seizure amounts to around 150,000 lethal doses taken off the street. Wow. I wonder what the dollar value of that was. Usually they'll state that. So, guys, a lot of times, that's why they're pulling you over. That's why they're stopping you. I know a lot of times, and some of y'all from my hometown, you'll know what I'm talking about. I got a lot of my hometown folks, they always support me, so they'll be looking in on this podcast. When you leave, when you know you hit 75 right there in Cordele, when you jump on 75, right? That's exit 99. As soon as you get to probably exit 120, somewhere in there, when you start to hit Perry, they all on the side of the road. And they're looking for drugs, man. And they're looking for vehicles. So back when I was driving, I always kept a fly vehicle. So a lot of times I would leave my semi truck somewhere in Macon or something like that, or in Cordele, and I would ride back to my hometown in Bainbridge, Georgia, so I could save my drive hours on my truck. Anyway, I had a BMW, I had a white BMW. And it never failed, I swear to God, I promise you. They would get in behind me right on the side of the road on 75. As soon as I pass them, I can't remember what the speed limit is, but I always go sometime 5 miles over the speed limit. I never go to speed limit. I always go at least 4 over. So I'm driving. I just go by. I'm like, I'm not going to tap my brake. I'm not going to do nothing. I'm going to maintain consistency because they're looking for any anomaly or any change in your behavior. So if I see you on the side of the road or I don't see you and I pass you, I'm going 74. Guess what? I'm going to keep going 74. So they'll whip in behind me. They'll ride behind me long enough to read my tag, to get all the information on me, enough information, and to see I have a CDL, which justifies to them in their mind why I'm driving this kind of vehicle with these 24-inch rims on this BMW. So they would generally, the math added up, the income added up, so they would generally turn around and leave me alone. They would turn around after following me for a while, getting enough information off of my tag, they would leave me alone. And they would probably, I don't know what all comes up. Maybe some of you drivers or some of you people in law enforcement can tell me what comes up when, that's an interesting thing. What comes up when police are following you, when they're reading your tag? What type of information? Does your complete criminal history come up? I don't know what all comes up. So I guess once they if my criminal history does come up, they see I'm not a criminal. They see I've never been convicted of any drug felonies or anything like that. So I guess, and they see I have a CDO, I guess they decide to leave me alone. I've never once had the lights turned on me, but I have been followed at least 6 or 7 times, and I'm not exaggerating. They will get in behind me and they will get so close on the back of my bumper, waiting for me to panic, waiting for me to tap brakes, waiting for me to switch lanes, waiting for me to do nothing. And if you're behind me, I'm going 74, I'm not speeding up, you stuck. So you can do those things when you don't break laws. When you're in the right, you can do those things. And anytime someone stops you, they have to have justification for stopping you. If you want to stop me because I'm going 4 miles over the speed limit, then you ain't got shit else to do with your day. That's how I look at it, you know. But anyway, let's see what else is going on out there, guys. This is some pretty interesting stuff. So let's go to another site I like to go to, CDLife.com. And to all you Knicks fans, man, I'm sorry about your lives, man. I'm sorry about all the pain y'all going through right now. I never would have thought in a million years that you guys would go down 2-0 to Indiana. But I guess this life is hard right now for all of us. Okay. Oh, I want to talk about this blitz that's coming up. Let's see, guys. I did an article about that. So let's see if I can find that article real quick about the blitz that's coming up. It's supposed to be in June, but they're actually starting it now, where you have to speak proper English and things of that nature. If you cannot adequately speak English, then there's a problem. So let's take a look at that. I did an article about that last week, so let me search that article. Let's see. Okay. Trump administration to require truck drivers to speak English. This is a big situation, okay? So let's see if I can find, let's see. Let me go here. Let me go. Oh, Donald Trump. And I don't have nothing against Trump, to be honest with you. I like a lot of the stuff he's doing. You know, I think sometimes he goes overboard, trying to deflect and distract. But a lot of the stuff he's doing, I don't take issue with it. It's stuff that should have been done a long time ago. Like he's improving our missile defense system. He's allocating a lot of money to our defense budget. He came up with the Space Force now that has been added, another branch that has been added to our armed forces. So a lot of things that he's doing. He's made it so the HBCUs don't have to go to the president or the Congress or whoever they go to lobbying for money over so often. He just gave them money and said, here, stop coming back. You know, you guys are doing a good thing. He understands. And he just gave them money where they have to stop coming back and asking for it all the time. So he's doing a lot of good things, and you know he's going to do a lot of crazy things as well. It's in his nature. So let's look at this one thing that he's really pushing. Again, I'm not a Trump basher. Like I just said, some of you will take this and you will flip it on me. So let me speak slowly in plain English. I do not have any dislike for President Donald Trump or his administration or Republicans. I am not a Republican. I am not a Democrat. I vote according to the issues, okay? To whoever is the best candidate. So don't start bombarding me with this foolishness when I make this statement. All right. It says Trump order removing truck drivers who don't speak sufficient English made official by the DOT. Now, this is an executive order, but it's a law that's been on the books for years and years. Okay. Although, and let's just start with the article and what it's saying. Although he spoke English when he was enrolled in a truck driving training program, Kevin Jean, however you pronounce that, he's a Haitian immigrant recalled feeling self-conscious during his commercial driver's license exams. And I have actually trained Haitians, Africans, people that have a dialect, a distinct dialect when they're talking, uh, how to drive trucks. And to be honest with you, the experience I have had were horrible. They were horrible. Uh, I don't know. It was a disconnect there. It was a lag in a process of information. Okay. Not that the person could not do it, not that the person lacked the intelligence or the capabilities to do it. There just was a lag due to the English and language barrier of them processing the information and implementing the information. Okay. So you have to hear it, you have to process it, and then you have to do it and implement it. So it's not that easy. And he said sometimes he was afraid to pronounce something wrong. And Jean, who whatever, who covers around 100,000 miles a year as a truck driver. Now, for all of you that don't understand, that's a lot. Me, typically, I did around 150 to 160,000 miles a year, sometimes almost damn near 180. So if any driver's busting 100,000 miles a year, he's out there. He's out there all the time. Okay, so he's on every road. He's stretched out. Okay. And he said he recalled classmates from Iran who didn't speak English fluently, but still passed their exams. He said nobody could understand them. Nobody could understand them, but they passed. He said they and other truck drivers will now be subject to roadside English proficiency tests. So this is a English proficiency test, guys. So on Tuesday, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy officially signed a directive for his department to take truck drivers off the road. Okay. I'm going to repeat that, to take truck drivers off the road if they are not fluent in English. The directive puts into effect an executive order signed by President Donald Trump on the 28th of April. So, and it says Trump's order changes the penalty for violations of the law, which for decades has required that as a qualification to be a commercial motor vehicle driver, a person must read and speak English sufficiently to converse with the general public. That's what's open to interpretation, in my opinion. So let me read this again. A person must read and speak the English language sufficiently to be able to converse with the general public, to understand highway traffic signs and signals in the English language, and to respond to official inquiries and make entries on reports and records. Okay. So, like I said, this law has been on the books forever, but Obama, he relaxed the penalty, he eased the penalty, and it was a rule that wasn't being enforced, to be honest with you at all. I had only seen in my driving career, I drove for 10 years, so, and I'm still in logistics, so that clock is still counting. So in my driving career, my 10-year driving career, I've only seen that happen one time where a driver was actually put out of service for not being able to speak English proficiently, and that was in Wyoming. Now, you guys know that travel 80 coming from, I think it's Evanston, from Utah, and as soon as you hit the Wyoming line, okay, that way station that's on the right, as you're entering into Wyoming, you're going to have to pull in there every single time. We all know that. Ain't no bypassing. The light always says park, come inside, bring your books. And so every time you have to go in there. And I saw one guy getting his ass handed to him, man. I don't know what he did to piss this DOT officer off. Well, in Wyoming, they always are looking for something, either in your books or either in the maintenance and upkeep of your vehicle. So when you pull out that book, these things got to be straight. And this is the driver, so you have to know this. Your registration, your cab registration must be up to date. Your trailer registration must be up to date. And your insurance must be up to date, okay? Those are things that there is no leadway on that they will even play with you about. And, of course, your IFTA has to be in order, okay? Those are the basic things that Wyoming or any other way station is not going to play with you about. So they was giving this guy the business, man. I mean, they were literally wringing him a new ass. So I was like, dang, man, why they was on this dude? And it was all about because he couldn't speak English. He couldn't speak English. And the DOT officers, you could hear them talking to themselves. You know, they were talking to him and then they break off and talk to themselves. How the hell does this dude get a CDL? You know, they were just going off. And I got my stuff. I got my books and I got the hell out of there. I didn't pay attention. Y'all know how we are as black folks. If it don't have nothing to do with us, sometimes we get the hell on. And that's exactly what I did. But that experience stayed in my mind for a long time. And I thought my first perception of it is, wow, they're mistreating this guy because he appeared to be, not appeared, he was of Hispanic origin. And I was thinking about how they were mistreating this guy. But in all honesty, he could not answer basic questions that they were asking him. Basic questions like, uh, uh, they were asking him where is he headed to, what's in his truck, and things like that, and he could not answer those questions in English at all. And I guess they had got to the point where they just dusted off this old law, and I know they put him out of service. As far as what they did from there, I do not know. But now they're saying they're going to take these drivers off the roads. Okay, um, so they're let's see. It says Duffy he's department will review security procedures for awarding commercial. Everything's about to get rough for us. Period. First of all, economically, we're getting screwed with the tariffs and everything like that, and people don't see how tariffs have affect you. They may not affect you in the southeast so much, in the northeast, and but you start going west and look at what the rates are right now. I had it up over here. The rates in the West, how significantly they have dropped because that port in Los Angeles had saw at least 17. It might have risen up more than that, but like normally I was reading a story where they'll get 80 some ships in a given period, and 17 ships had been canceled off of that, and they were expecting more off of that. So now tariffs have eased, but still they're still going to feel that bump and that bruise. So uh, that coupled with this, the trucking industry, you have to be smart now. If you're trying to get into the trucking industry now, you have to play it smart. Okay, you have to play the game wisely, and you have to think about it from a financial perspective. Um, so those are the stories, guys, that I thought were pretty interesting of things going on. So let's see. Oh, I forgot to tell you when this blitz is supposed to really, really get started. Let's see what's up. It's already started. They've already started picking fights here and there, but there's an actual day that this really is supposed to get started. So let me try to find that out. Let's see if I can find that out before I get out of here, guys. It's sometime in June, where they're really going to emphasize and work on that. And that's what the major thing that they're going to be looking for is English proficiency. And a lot of people will say, yeah, we've been needing that. Well, it says you're supposed to be able to read and speak the adequate, English adequately. And I know hundreds. It has to be at least. It's not a handful. I don't want to be lying and exaggerating, but I know at least 60 to 70. I'm sure old school truck drivers that can't read a lick. I mean, can't read nothing. They have like 6th and 5th grade educations, and they drive the roads fine. You know, so I'm curious as to what impact that's going to have on them as well. We think it's going to impact a certain demographic and a certain group. I think this rule or this law is going to have the enforcement of this law is going to have a far more reaching effect than what we actually think. Okay. So that's all I found. I found more, but that's all I really wanted to talk about in this particular little session, guys. So stay awake, truck drivers. Stay vigilant. And like I said, we have the live load board Monday through Friday. You can come here on my Facebook page, or you can go to the Facebook page of the Perfect Dispatcher, or you can catch us on YouTube under the Perfect Dispatcher. Live loads in real time will be posted on the load boards. And to give you an idea, just to give you an idea, let's see, do I have any? I don't have any right now that you can actually look at. Maybe, hold on. Let me try to show you guys what I'm talking about so you will know. Let's see here. If I can find, yeah, here we go. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. Okay, guys, so it'll look something like this. It'll say live load board Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And as you go on it, as you don't have to stay on it. If you have anything you like or any loads that if you're stuck in a particular area, or if you might not be stuck, you just want to check the rates. You want to say, hey, I got a load picking up. I'm on my way to Texas. All right, I picked this load up in Fort Mill. I got it for 1,800. Now, if you're going from Fort Mill to Arlington, Texas, or Dallas, or anywhere like that, and 1,800 is all you're getting, you're not getting the maximum amount for that load. Okay, that's a 2-day ride. That's about 1,100 miles. In your best scenario, that's a day and another day, and you may have 4 hours left out that second day that you can drive. So, and that's if you booking it. Okay, that's if you getting it. So 1,800 to me is not the best rate for that load. So guys, we post loads all shift long, as you see that, and it constantly changes down there. The load amounts, like, okay, here's one. It picks up in Edmonton. Oh, that's Canada. You don't want to go to Canada. We have Canada loads as well with Elite Logistics. They post all kind of things. And all of this is sponsored by Elite Logistics, guys. Um, for instance, there's a load picking up in Peachtree City, Georgia. It's going to Houston, Texas. It's going 769 miles. It's 4,000 pounds for a flatbed or step deck, $2,100. That's a good pay to the truck. So he's going 769 for a flatbed, 2,100 miles. Okay, I can get there in a day. If I push it, I can get there in a day and probably 2 or 3 hours tomorrow when I start back up in that morning. So I can get there in about 13 hours. I can get there. $2,100 for 13 hours. That's not a bad thing. We'll try to find you a backhaul or some other load getting you out of Houston, Texas, going back ever to wherever you want. Finding freight in the Houston area is not like it used to be. It's a little trickier now. So, but Elite Logistics will try to help you stay on task on, what loads are out there. And guys, they have a lot of loads that are on the boards constantly. For instance, here's a load picking up in Gulf Shores, Alabama, going to Spartanburg, South Carolina. And it's cranes. It's in a flatbed or step deck, 45,000 pounds. A little heavy, but it's only going 525 miles. That's an 8-hour ride. You'll make 2,400 to the truck. So that's a pretty decent load. And we have loads available, or loads that we can try to find for you wherever you are trying to get, no matter what. It does not hurt to try. The different commodity, the different types of trailers. You have reefer, that Elite Logistics service. Reefer, dry van, flatbed, step deck, RGN, hot shot with the gooseneck, or the 40-foot flat. What else do we have? Cargo van, sprinter van, box truck. So whatever, we will do our best. We have several agents at our disposal that will do their best to find loads for you. And guess what? With this, you do not have to pay the normal 10%. You do not have to pay the normal 7%, 5%, whatever. We're just finding loads for you, okay? So for the low price of $19.99 a month, not just a visit, a month, you're able to call and say, hey, I need some load matches, man. I got loads right now, I'm booked, but I just need to try to see if there's something better out there. Boom, we'll try to shoot it to you, okay? or I don't have nothing. What do you have? Boom, we'll try to shoot it to you. Uh, we'll use all our avenues, our means available, load boards, brokers that we have done credit checks on, that we have vetted, and we personally call. We have agents that's all they do, call brokers. We have agents, all they do, call drivers and look for loads and things like that. So give us a try. It can't hurt you nothing. 19.99 ain't gonna break you. You know, that's less than a day of parking at a truck stop. So what harm will it do to try it? If it doesn't work, if it's not to your liking, then you will have only spent 19 bucks, right? But if it works for you, guess what you have? Even if you have a dispatching service, you now have a backup plan. You now can know the same things your dispatcher knows. And guess what it'll do? It'll start answering all these questions for you about your dispatching service. Or is my dispatching service doing everything they can to get me premium loads? Or are they bull jiving me? So uh, it won't hurt you. So you can come to my Facebook page. You can go to the Facebook page of the Perfect Dispatcher. Check all these things, guys. We'll be there for you. Okay. That's all I have to talk about for today. If there's any news articles or anything important or anything that you know that's going on, please send us a text at 678-871-0465, or you can send us an email at dispatch at elic logistics or info at eliclogistics.com. Just let us know everything that's going on out there. If you have a special announcement that you would like us to make, um, hey, we're here, and we will let the public know that that information came from you if you so desire. We're a trucking podcast made by truckers for truckers, here to take care of our community. You guys have a good rest of your day, okay, and be safe out there on that road.